Anyways, the topic for today is those God knows my heart people. If you one of them people, step to the front right now.
And we're all guilty because I definitely have been like, Lord
Yes.
know my heart. I done went off on somebody, called them ugly. You look raggedy. Your mama shoulda.
And it's like,
But the
how
Lord knows my
exactly? It's like how you gonna sit here and say God knows my heart? Let me read what I wrote because
Yeah.
if my heart is aligned with God's word and this is what I'm saying that I want to be like. I'm saying I want to pick up my cross daily and live like Christ and do all the things. But like we know, we are all sinners. We gonna slip up and mess up, right? At the end of the day,
Mhm.
take accountability for what you have done, but that does not mean justify it and just be like, well, God knows my heart because
Okay.
do you
She's
start
back.
oh, we are recording.
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. We are back with
E.
another episode of the You're Done podcast. It's your girl, Big Death, not the little one.
And be more, never less.
And we back, y'all. Like we never left.
We didn't.
We left for like an hour and came back, changed our shirts and came back.
You're welcome. Okay.
But yes, I think last week's topic was pretty good. I was thinking about it when I was like I said, we took an hour in between recording. And I was like, I hope I didn't come off like when I asked that question of like trying to say that God won't bless people who are sinning because we're all sinners. I said, you know
Yeah.
what? The gospel say God knows my heart. That's the that's the topic for today.
So when she's talking about them people, she them people.
No, I'm not, because I understand what it means. My heart was in the right place, is what I'm saying.
To say what the topic is, though, is crazy.
Right. That flowed
That's
very well, though. It did. And it was
It did.
unintentional.
That's what
Because
she wants us to believe.
I was really thinking about that. Like, I really hope that because I have that problem of not fully conveying what I'm trying to say. Because I feel like
Yeah.
I get what I'm trying to say. I feel like you get what I'm trying to say. And so sometimes
Yeah.
I don't fully explain myself. Look, y'all.
Okay.
But anyways, the topic for today is those God knows my heart people. If you one of them people, step to the front right now.
Don't be strange. Come to the altar.
And what we mean by that, because we got some notes. Let me go ahead and check this one off the list. People will say, like, you'll be doing something that is just totally wrong, right? And then you'll
Yeah.
be like, well, God knows my heart. And it's like, yeah, he does. And he knows your heart is not in the right place. Because if it was, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
No, at all. And we're all guilty because I definitely have been like, Lord
Yes.
know my heart. I done went off on somebody, called them ugly. You look raggedy. Your mama shoulda.
And it's like,
But the
how
Lord knows my
exactly. It's like, how you gonna sit here and say God knows my heart, but you are doing everything like your heart. Yeah, I don't know. Let me read what I wrote because
Yeah.
okay. So it says God judges based on the heart. So if you're doing things that goes
Mhm.
against His will and justifying it by God knows my heart, you're contradicting the word because God judges
Yeah.
you. Or well, no, let me read it. You do the things that are aligned with the posture of your heart. So if I'm feeling nice and kind and my heart is in the right place, I'm not gonna go out killing people. I'm not gonna go out having sex with all the men in Houston. I'm not gonna, I'm just not gonna do certain things because my heart is in a different place, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if my heart wants to be but my heart wanted to be high all the time, and my heart. So that's okay. Let's use me as an example. I was smoking the weed. I was drinking the alcohol. I was okay. I was gonna act like I was gonna keep going. That's all I was doing, y'all. Oh, I was fornicating. God said that ain't all you was doing. Tell the people. Shame the devil. Don't lie.
The Lord knows her heart.
But my point is, I was doing all of those things, right? I would even pray. I would do all the things, right? But every day I woke up and I
Mhm.
chose to go out and do all these things. And it's like to say, but I can't just be like, that's like me said, like we said in the last episode, our ultimate goal in life is to make it to heaven. I can't be like,
Yeah.
God, you knew my heart. You knew I wanted better, even though I was out there having sex with Billy Bob Joe and his cousins.
Ooh.
But you knew my heart, God. Please let me in.
Not letting the friends smash the family
Okay, I
member.
wasn't doing that.
That's not even a friend.
I
She
was
not
not.
saying she did that, y'all. Back up. Back up.
I was not doing that.
No.
But I was
Our mama
living a
watched this.
life that wherever my heart was, with the posture that my heart was in at that time, that was what I was doing, So the fruits
Yeah.
that you bear I feel like they come from within, the things that you think about, the things that you like, where your heart is at, the things that what else? I don't know. I just feel like all those things, they all is
Yeah.
what it's like whatever you put in is what's coming out. So I can't be
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, I'm putting in good things, and so good things should be coming out." So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you're doing bad things, that's because within is stuff that is bad. Duh.
Yeah.
So don't
I
justify it.
almost
You did it.
I'll say when I was them people, sometimes I still am, but when I definitely was them people, I think I almost now was viewing it as almost like a form of repentance because it's like I ain't want to really cuss you out like that. You made me cuss you out like that, but the Lord know that I'm a nice person. So it's almost like,
Yeah.
forgive me for doing that, but you know that they deserve that,
Okay,
and
but
it's
wait,
almost like
Brittany.
uh-huh.
Okay, so you're not a mean. You don't go out just cussing people out, right? You're
No,
not a
no, no, no,
bad.
no.
Not a bad person per se. You're actually pretty nice, right? But
Yeah.
when you have stepped out and did things that were not of Christ, right? You out there cussing people out, you
Mm.
whatever. She said she maybe she threw a few things. She's doing some things. You was doing things, right? Based on whatever situation that you were in. So it's not to say that
Yeah.
just because Brittany cussed somebody out at HEB that now God deems her as a bad person. Should she have not done
Yeah.
that? Yes. I mean, no, she shouldn't have done that. No, she shouldn't have done that.
Yes, that's the amount of HEB.
Exactly. She shouldn't have done that, but it's not to say like you can't make mistakes. The whole point of the episode is to be like, you can't justify those mistakes by saying God knows my heart. So Brittany knew
Yeah.
after she cussed them people out that I shouldn't have. You gonna get
And matter of
convicted.
fact, it's like, right? It's like I shouldn't have taken it that far because here's the deal. When we learn how to fight fair, right? I grew up where like if I'm talking about you, it's your mama and your daddy too. It's all
Right.
y'all. All y'all can get it because they gave birth to you. All y'all raggedy. That's how I used this ghetto. But it was literally like talking about you didn't hit hard enough. So then you just went blow, blow, blow. It's like you down to your knees. Like at this point, ain't no belt. Okay, because I done went below the belt, over the belt, under the belt, at the belt.
I done hit you
And
with the belt.
it's like I done hit you with the belt. And so instead of saying, dang, I was wrong, I didn't have to take it that far. Or, hey, I apologize. Because now that I said what I said, I didn't have to say half of what I said, actually. You just turn around and say, that was a moment. God knows my heart.
Right.
And you saying that because I really, and I'm not gonna say you said that. I think I said that because somewhere I was still blaming the other person. I only reacted that way because of you. That's not really me,
Mm.
but because you acted a certain way, that's how I had to act. God knows my heart. He know I would never. But the crazy thing is that you just did.
Exactly.
Cause this is the whole reason. This
Literally.
is the whole reason you're saying God knows your heart because you really just went against everything you technically stand for. Like if my mama would have saw me acting that way, she probably would have been like, look at you. Look at you. You're out here acting like your people. But at the same time, she knows we all trying to do better and it was wrong. So you either need to apologize or you need to sit with yourself and I always say this, realize what your triggers are, because you can't always blame somebody else for your failures or why you decided to do something or why something not working out for yourself, because it's not always the other person. It ain't always the devil. We got an episode on Everything Bad Isn't the Devil. Check that out. It's in this
Season
season.
5.
Shameless plug right there. But I definitely feel like when you're using that term or this phrase, the Lord knows my heart, is really because you're viewing whatever actions you have decided to take is because of the other person. I would never act like that on a normal day. If you would have act right, I would have stayed in the posture of the Lord. But because you didn't act right, now look at me. Now I got to get the Lord to say, but you know my heart, not the actions and the things I displayed, but really deep down, his mama.
Right. His mama ain't did nothing to me. She's actually a nice lady.
I did nothing to you.
My bad, Miss Martha.
Right?
I'm crying.
You sweet. Go to church on Sunday. I'm just out here talking mess.
Right. So like you said, blaming somebody else for your actions and then justifying it. Like, well, God know my heart. And it's just like, bro, take
Yeah.
accountability. What you did was just wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. It was wrong. And I'm gonna say it's okay. Because what you did is what you did. You can't take it back, right? But at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
the day, do not sit there and lie on God and be like, but let me not say you're lying on God, because he does know your heart. You don't understand what you're talking about when you say, God knows my heart. My thing is whatever, because you like the fruits of the spirit, right? If my heart is aligned with God's word, and this is what I'm saying that I want to be like. I'm saying I want to pick up my cross daily and live like Christ and do all the things. But like we know, we are all sinners. We gonna slip up and mess up, right? At the end of the day, take accountability for what you have done, but that does not mean justify it and just be like, well, God knows my heart. Because at the end of the day, like Brittany said, even in a situation where somebody may have wronged you, yeah, you could easily just go off on them. But one, you should not be easily angered according to the word. And if your heart is aligned with that, you should not be so easily angered that whatever somebody else is doing causes you to act out a character, right? So at the end of the day, if your heart is in the right place, you should have been like, girl, I do not got time for this. And it's not to say, like we said in the last episode, that you got to let people walk over you or treat you any kind of way. You can stand up for yourself, but it does not have to be in a way where you are literally going out your way, cussing everybody out, doing this, doing that. It's like, it don't take all of that. And then want to talk about God knows my heart. Do you? Do you know? Because I'm confused.
No. Because at this point, it's giving Pharaoh.
Exactly. Heart and heart.
It's giving a hardened heart.
Heart just hard as it want to be.
Frogs everywhere, blood spilling over, diseases being spread, and you don't care. God knows my heart.
Right.
Just keep doing the dumb stuff. But okay, but that's it too. Now that I say that, if God knows your heart and then you keep doing it, like that, I think that's where this all becomes a contradiction, because you can't say he knows your heart and in a sense of is purity, but you keep making the same, I don't even want to call it a mistake, you keep repeating the same action. Yeah, at some point, like for me, for instance, when I read something in the Bible and then, okay, I'm going again, I always like to put myself in a position, cussing, just going off on people, matching energy, all the things, right? I've been reading so much in the Bible. Things that actually have been coming to me because I have not read the entire Bible. But somewhere along the lines, things will pop up on my timeline if I'm on social media, or I'll just be listening to a sermon or a podcast and I'll hear something and then I'll go and Google it and I'll find the scripture, or the scripture just finds me and I'll read the whole chapter, right? And certain things that I've been wanting to change in my life, I've been able to align with a particular scripture in the Bible. And so once I read something in the Bible and I continue to make those same, like do the same action, I get like Destiny say, get hit with the sandal, Jesus the sandal across your forehead. That's me. And then it's almost like I'm convicting my own self. And now I'm doing better with making those changes. So I don't want anyone to listen to this and be like, oh, yeah, once you know, you just supposed to cold turkey, you supposed to stop everything. That's not it. You learn a habit. You continue to do that habit. That is exactly, I don't want to say that's exactly who you are, but you do things without even thinking about it. Like sometimes a particular cuss word would just slip out. Why? Because that's normally I would have said the S word right then and there. But now that I'm familiar with how strong the tongue is and having control over it is very important, then once I do it, I don't continue to cuss. Like I said the S word, ooh, sorry. And then I'll try not to say it again. But some people be like, oh, I did it already. We're going to start again on Monday. No, you can't. No, you can't do that.
No, please don't do that.
No, you don't start it off and then you just gonna finish it out. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. So I always say try to align yourself with something so that when you say the Lord knows my heart, and like Destiny say, do you know your heart enough to say that was wrong? Okay, let me stop doing that. Let me make a different decision or do a different action because I don't want that to be how I'm perceived. And a really, really, really big thing right now is, and I will say it's really for me, but when people see me, I want people to see the goodness of God. And so I feel like that does play a part into your heart because we're of a society of, I want you to see me. I want you to know what I do. You see these letters behind my name, but at the end of the day, if when you die, your main goal is to go to heaven, to go to the promised land, he really could care less how many letters you got behind your name. He could care less that you went out here and gave that one homeless person at one time $10. He could care less about any of that. So when people see me, I don't want them to just be like, oh, Brittany, the fitness trainer, she's super nice and she's trying not to match energy. I want them to literally look at me and be like, she talked about these things on her podcast and I could see her doing that out here in real life. She is really living the way you should be living according to the Lord's word, not according to what we consider to be good. Because I ain't gonna lie, before I really got into my journey with God, I used to be like, well, I ain't a murderer. I ain't sleeping with nobody else's man. I ain't, committing adultery. I'm not stealing. Like,
Ain't
to
that
me,
bad.
right? Like, them some real, I may have lied and killing to two different things. To God, a sin is a sin. So once I had put that into perspective, I was like, y'all out here really thinking that man who murdered somebody else when he was 16 and got tried as a man, oh, he automatically going to hell. And you thinking because you go to church, but you out here shaking butt cheeks that you going to heaven. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, you are not. You're going to get to them pearly gates and your feelings going to be hurt.
Right. Because when your name ain't in the book, even if your name is in the book, it's not going to say Dr. such and such. It's just going to have your name, baby. It just, God do not care about none of that. We don't need no doctor in heaven. Silly.
Mm-mm. You silly rabbit.
But okay, I was going to point out, so, okay, let's say like we're on this journey with Christ. We're doing the things, reading our Bible. We're picking up that cross daily, no matter how heavy it is, Lord. We are doing our very best, right? So you have people in your life, obviously, like you say, like we've been saying, everybody's not on the same journey. Your journey will look way different than mine, whatever the case may be. So if I have people in my life that are not quite where I am or better, I'm not gonna get in. So like I've talked about, I have not cussing thing. My friends, I got a group of friends that cuss like a sailor, and so it's not. So I can't. So me trying to be better, right? Just have to say like I need to just go cut off all my friends. But one, I like if I know it's certain things that I don't want to do because I know that it will bring. So that's like saying drinking. If I go out and I'm like drinking all the time, and I know that that causes me to get angry, that causes me to now I'm cussing people out, I'm dancing on the tables, twerking and doing all the look the Jezebel spirit just coming out of me. And so it's like I can't do all those things and be like and then wake up the next day, read my Bible, doing all the things because God knows my heart, right? Even though last night it did not show that this is what I do behind closed doors. So I feel like even the people that you surround yourself with, it matters because I can't go around my friends, even though they're cussing all the time, and then just be like, oh, I guess we just cussing. They cussing, I'm cussing,
No.
we all cussing. Cuss word up, cuss word. You cannot do that. And if you find yourself in a situation where you feel as though you cannot yet control yourself, like as one person say, well, like Brittany said, I might as well keep cussing. No, that's not how that works. So I feel like you have to get
At
to
all.
a point where you understand where your heart is and where you're trying to go and where you are with your walk with Christ and go from there. You can't because the world is going to be the world. People are going to be people.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be on the same journey as you. Everybody's not going to understand what you're doing. Everybody probably won't accept it or really even care. But it's up to you, one, to remove yourself from those environments, and two, know how to control yourself enough because, baby, a person with no self control, you are just off the hinge. You need help. What, you have no, everything cannot be somebody else's fault. Just because they cuss don't mean you got to cuss. Just because they smoke don't mean so. If this is like what Mama used to say. So if your friend jump off a bridge, you gonna. I used to hate that because
And you
why
gonna
would
jump off
I
the
would
bridge.
not do that. Why would I do that? Like dang, you so
Right.
extreme. But is that serious? Because it's like you can't be of the world, and it's a constant thing. You can't
Yeah.
be of the world and say, oh, but God knows my heart. No,
Yeah.
that's just not
At
how
all.
it works. And that's something that I've had to learn. And I'll catch myself, like if I get around my friends and I'll be like, look at you, look at you, going back to the old destiny. Cause I will cuss, okay? Everybody and everything was a B word. And if you're from Texas, the H word is a noun.
Yeah.
Everything was the H word.
'Cause what?
It like anything. It could be anything. And I had to learn to just the things that like Brittany said, if I'm trying to live according to the word, that's what I need to be pouring into myself. So that's the stuff that comes out. I can't be praying, oh God, let me be like we're supposed to be the light of the earth. I can't be saying, let your light shine through me and help use me and do this, do that. And I'm out here. Look, I might know a few Bible verses, but that doesn't mean anything if I'm out here at the club every other Friday or every Friday. Saturday and Sunday. Talk about Friday, it's been a long week. Saturday, ooh, it's the weekend. Sunday, fun day. Baby,
Sunday fun.
y'all gotta, well, let me not say y'all, because that was me at one point. It's a day for everything. And it's just like, but you make no time for God. But then want to say, God knows my heart. When your heart is clearly aligned with all the things of the world, which is why when such and such
Yeah.
pissed you off, you reacted the way that you did. That's just the reality of it. That's the truth of it. It ain't got nothing. Look, God knows your heart. Yes, He does, and He knows that you need some purge. He needs to purge out some things from your heart because you tripping. The things of your heart are the things that's going to come out of you. And if you are doing X, Y, and Z, look,
A, B, and C ain't never gonna happen.
exactly. It's just how
But
that works.
going back to what you said when you're like, and I'm pretty sure every person has heard, if your friend jump off a bridge, are you gonna jump off a bridge? And to us, like I said, extreme. But it goes back to saying the same thing. A killer and somebody who just lied. That seems so far extreme, but it's the exact same thing. And I think when you put it into perspective, because we all don't know the day that we're gonna be called home, right? You don't know your expiration date. You don't know that what time or day the Lord gonna say, "Yep, plucking you up from the earth. Your days are done." So when you are out here and you're like, okay, Friday, yeah, I'm gonna act a fool because it's my girl birthday, but I'm gonna turn around because I told them I go to church. I've been going to church. This my third Sunday in a row, and I even said in the overflow.
And the Sunday before that, I was so on time. I was on the first few rows.
Right, I was on time. Because what if you don't get to make it to that Sunday to say, "Hey, Lord, I'm a align my heart with your word." What if you don't get to that Sunday? And I'm not saying don't go have fun. You can go, you can have fun, but you don't have to get drunk. You ain't got to be busting it wide open. You don't have to be out here wearing extremely revealing clothes. At this point, baby, just come out looking like Adam and Eve in the garden. No clothes, because you left nothing to the imagination. I know
At all.
everything about you, and I ain't even looking for you.
Because why do I know you got a tattoo on your left booty cheek? I don't understand. I just met you, ma'am. Nasty. Cover it up.
Right? And who is Charles?
Exactly.
Chuck, come get your girl.
Who is
This
Charles is
episode
crazy.
is but I wanted to point that out because we look at everything as very extreme and then like, oh, it's not that bad. But at the end of the day, like we keep saying, if you want to be seen as someone who's aligned with God, there should be certain things that doesn't even excite you. You shouldn't even desire those things from your heart. And it shouldn't have to be the saying, the Lord knows my heart, right? Because at this point, I know what's expected of me as a child of God. I know what's expected of me as a disciple of God. I know what's expected of me as someone who's walking this journey and picking up my cross daily. There are certain things that I cannot allow myself to be intertwined with. And so I'm not making it seem like I don't go out. I mean, I haven't had to drink because I breastfeed and all that, but I've also been I've been having this feeling that I shouldn't drink. So I've been finding mocktail recipes on Pinterest. I made one when Destiny came home. I don't know, it wasn't my best one, but it was a good start.
Mhm.
So I just kind of feel like I've been called to do certain things. And that's a interesting thing about this walk with God is that the things that did not seem like I don't get drunk. First off, I don't like hangover. I done been drunk. I done had a hangover. I definitely done felt like once or twice that the Lord may have tried to call your girl home because why am I vomiting and I ain't ate nothing? But I don't like that feeling. But it's interesting that the further I get into the word, that there are certain things that I didn't see as a big deal that's becoming a big deal, like cussing. I didn't think it was a big deal. Why? Because I'm not calling your mama a B. I mean, every now and again I called you one, but in my terms, you was acting like one. And, it's not like I'm just
Call it
calling
how I see it.
grandmas, yeah, I call it how I see it. But it's certain thing, and it's just random. It could be like a Tuesday, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that no more. And they'd be like, why? And I'd be like, I just feel like I shouldn't do it.
Mhm.
And then I go look for it in the Bible, and now I'm on this whole journey of like not doing certain things. And I also feel that because I'm a planner. Y'all know your girl Destiny put stuff on the notes. I'm putting it on the calendar. I'm putting it on Google Calendar. So I got a written calendar. I got an electronic calendar.
Mm.
And so here recently, I was reading that in the Bible that we are people of obedience, right? But planners, like you're almost like a planner of obedience. It's like I love to plan. I love to put stuff out and say, oh, I'm gonna be obedient to getting these things done. But then when it comes time to do them, now
Mm.
we got a problem. Now we got a problem of being obedient to what God has told us to do. And I'm not saying these are big, elaborate things. These are small things like staying in your word, praying, not cussing, the things he's asked of you not to do, that you've been called to work towards not doing those things. These small, minute things. It's not saying, oh, I need to be up here like a nun and now I can't
Right.
have a little glass of wine with my friends or, it's not saying, I'm not saying that at all. But I think we get into this certain situation of like, once something becomes a trend on social media, you plan to say, oh, I'm going to be the 5 a.m. girly too. Why? Because everybody say you got to wake up at 5 a.m. to work out. Oh, I'm going to eat the sauerkraut because they say, oh, that's good for your micro whatever in your gut and all this. Girl, you don't even like that. Stop. Shut up. Sit down. Do you need it? No, you don't. Eat some yogurt. That's just fine.
Right. You ain't gotta do what everybody else
But
doing.
exactly. But then when he asks you to do something that you don't see as a big deal, now everything is an uproar. Now you don't understand, why is this a problem? Why do I have to let that go? And what if that's the one thing he's asking you so he can allow your cup to overflow? What if I just
Mm.
stopped cussing and all of a sudden that's all I needed to do to hear to be able to fully hear him? What if I'm blocking everything because I'm like, nah, that can't be it just yet. That I deserve to say that word. You don't deserve this life, but yet he's allowing
You
you
are.
to wake up and see another day.
Mhm.
So we have to stay obedient in his word and what it is that he says. And we have to wake up and, like we say, it doesn't say you wake up and you take up your cross. This is a daily thing. So every day you have to do this. And if you fall short, luckily we got a Lord that's what he died for your sins for. He already know you fit to fall short. So when you fall short, don't allow that to be a reason for you to continue to go down the same path, is what I'm saying. Fall short and then say, dust yourself off and let's get back on track. That's all
Exactly.
I'm saying. And I'm saying it from a perspective of I definitely have fallen short, long, medium,
I done
longitudinal,
fail.
horizontally, vertically.
I've been
And
ever since.
I just have to keep picking myself up.
Yeah, you have to. Because if you stay in that
Yeah.
space and then continuously wonder, well, why is such and such not happening for me? Or why, sister, you cannot, like I said, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. You cannot sit here and be like, "Well, I done did all the things that God has told me not to do." Like you said, that could be that one thing that's holding you back from what God is trying to, like the bigger picture. You have to learn how to be obedient, because even when decided, I was like, I'm gonna stop drinking. I've had people tell me like, you don't even drink like that though, or like, and it's just like, that's not the point. And so
Yeah.
if I wasn't fully obedient, I could have easily been like, you know actually at one point I was
You're
like,
right.
I actually don't, so why would I just stop? Like, it has to be something bigger that God wants me to just stop doing, because I don't even do that like that. And God is like,
Yeah.
no, that's what I told you to do, and you let somebody else get in your ear. But if your heart was in the right place and you were able to clearly hear my voice, you would need to have listened to what nobody else had to say, because I already said what I said. I told you to stop drinking. I don't care if you had one glass of wine every month. You're done.
You're right. Okay, and here goes the other saying too. Stop using the Bible to justify why you should, because they'll be like, well, the Lord's made the sea out of no, you can't. Y'all have to make my nerves bad. I can't even think. But just because wine is in the Bible don't mean that you need a glass of wine. Now, I'm
Right.
not saying if you have one glass of wine, right? Let's say you have one glass of wine and ain't nothing ever told you to stop drinking that glass of wine. Baby, enjoy your glass of wine. Ain't nothing
Right.
saying you can't drink wine. You should not get drunk, is what I'm saying. Drunk, now that's in the Bible. Drunkenness, you can't get into the kingdom of heaven. Don't do that. But if God has asked you or told you to stop drinking, you gotta stop drinking. That don't mean you call your friend and say, "Girl, last night, after that one glass we had, we can't be drinking because in the no, 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 no. That's what you've been called to do. And sometimes you got to
Right.
realize that your journey is your journey. And what's been asked of you is been asked of you for a particular reason. You don't know. We've talked about generational spirits. We've talked about protecting our kids in the world that don't. We've talked about a lot of different things that either can come from the past or end up affecting our kids in the future. Because when we commit sins, just because you don't see anything bad, and this I think in the episode last week, Destiny was talking about how you could technically kind of be doing the wrong things, but like you got money, you living in a nice home, you got the finest clothes, X, Y, and Z. So why do you need to change anything if you live in like this really nice life? But if you know your heart and your posture isn't right with God, your kids could suffer from that. It doesn't it doesn't end with you. It can definitely carry on into other things. And if you don't believe that, Adam and Eve did, y'all know the story. She was in there eating up the fruit. We still to the day don't know what the fruit is, but because of that, we're still having to deal with the consequences of that action, and we don't even know her. I
Right.
don't even what? When was she even born? Long
Girl.
ago. But here I am. My kids are dealing with the repercussions of an action she did. So it carries on with the things that we do. And so we have to stop saying, in the Bible, this is how this went. Or in the Bible, well, the Lord did this. To justify, read it for what it is, not to justify an action if you've been called to stop doing something. So because I have been called to stop cussing, I don't tell my husband not to cuss. Now I will. Now if he going on a tangent because he may be feeling particular, I'd be like, all right, that was a
That was
lie.
enough.
You okay? Yeah. Now I may, say that and he'll be like, you right. Cause I can see him getting angry and I can see this, like you say, you can see it going further. So I'm trying to get you to, okay, you said what you said. You felt how you felt. Let's come back down before we let this escalate.
Mm.
But other than that, it's not for me to make him do anything of which I'm doing. Now I do let people know, like, this is what my heart has been called to do. So when I can't show up, it's not because I don't like you. That's just not where I can go anymore. It's not because I think you're doing something wrong. I just can't be in those spaces anymore because my heart and my posture is saying that I can't go there. So whatever the Lord is pulling you into or out of, that's for you. That ain't for other people to start adjusting around you. Now that may mean the people that you're around may change, and that's not always a bad thing. Not always a bad thing. You could be helping somebody else and not even know it just off that one thing, you know?
Right.
But stop trying to continue to do something and then using the phrase like the Lord know my heart, or yeah, I know the Lord had wine in the Bible. Shut up. The Lord also said wash people's feet. And I don't see you doing that. You still seeing Kim.
Right. You know it. You know
And she
all the
doing
parts
your
that
toes.
justify what you want to do. What about them parts
But
of
nothing
stuff that
that
he
say
told
don't
you?
do.
What about the parts he told you not to do? Oh, that's another
They have
episode.
not.
Like using
Mm.
the Bible is not up for your interpretation. The Bible is not for you to use it to justify your wrongdoings. The Bible is exactly what the Bible say. Please stop going in there and being like, oh well, no sin is greater than the other. That is true, but that doesn't mean that you keep doing the sin. Okay, let's not do that. And then it just makes no sense. And that's what I'm saying. Also, when we say like the God knows my heart, people, and obviously we are all sinners. Nobody is free from it. Maybe we was born into it. It's who you are. But you have to choose every single day, like Brittany said, pick that cross up every day, every single day, and do it. Because the other day, I did not read my Bible study, right? Mind you, y'all. I mean, I didn't read my Bible, read my Bible study. The Bible it was sitting on the couch from yesterday, wide open from the page I left off on yesterday. The Bible is right
Mm.
there, ready for me to read it. It's open. I never closed it. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. And I sat there and I was like, I'm not, no. Girl, every little video I was scrolling was about God. I said, well, God, thank you for speaking to me anyway, even though I wasn't obedient to your word. And, but I can't sit there and be like, I can't read that Bible today. God know my heart. God know I'm doing the best I can. This is a daily thing. The
Yeah.
bread, well, not the bread, whatever it is that you needed for yesterday, you used that up already. You need to refresh it. You need new.
That
Okay?
part.
You have to do it again. And so I have to constantly like remind myself of, even if it's something that I feel like I don't want to do, or I feel like it's not that big of a deal to me, like Brittany said, it's not that to us on earth, it ain't that big of a deal. But you also said in last week's episode of how if it's certain things that I know I wouldn't do, if Jesus walked through that door right now, first of all, y'all are done. I was like, we're all done.
All
If he walked
done.
in this door, I'm like, Brittany,
No,
Jesus
and
here.
drop it on me right now. It's over.
Y'all better repent. No, but if he
Imagine
walked
you
in
cut
this,
somebody and Jesus walked through. Boy, in the middle,
that
you going,
you're done. So if he walks through this door right now, are these the things that I would want? Obviously, he sees me. He sees me do. He saw me when I was in the club. He saw me when I was smoking weed. He saw me doing all the bad things. Duh. But if you saw Jesus physically in your home, are those the things that you would do with Jesus sitting right there? Then that probably could tell you that what you're doing is not aligned with the word of God, which means your heart is not in the right place, which means that God, he knows your heart, but baby, could stop saying that because he's sick of it. He's tired of it. Get your heart ready, because when Jesus comes back, you can't be like, go God, I was just finna, I was just
I was
finna
just
stop.
going to say that was wrong.
Shit, this today was my last day. He's like, it's your last day, all right? You cannot do that. You need to get right with the Lord. And it starts with your heart. I'm crying. I'm getting hot.
Oh, Lord. Episode didn't need to be this funny, but somehow it
Look,
is.
I just don't
That's
understand.
just, but it's hard. It's a hard thing to. It's a
Mhm.
hard thing to do, a hard thing to change. Change isn't easy. If that was the case, everybody would, be willing to say, "Oh, I'm gonna change this thing about me." But it's very
Mhm.
hard to do. And I think when we live in a world where you want to be liked, I mean, clearly, we literally say like, share, and subscribe when we're talking about our social media. We want you guys to like something. We
Mhm.
want to be liked, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but when the way of which you move in this world is based on the likeness of everyone, we got a problem. I want to be liked by those that or they don't have to be not aligned with me, but also aligned with the Lord. Someone that when I see them, I see God. I see the pureness of their heart. Those are the type of people I'm saying come and like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you're a non-believer, like, share, and subscribe. Why? Because we're also here to spread the word. We're also here to make sure that you get it. And I don't want to say I don't want to say it that way, but we're also here to make sure that we're spreading the word and that you hopefully will go back and read it for yourself and then become a follower of Jesus Christ, right? So if none of those things are happening, if that's not who you are, baby, I don't know what podcast you need to be on, but you're done. So don't come here. And I'm always trying to speak from a place of love and kindness. First off, that's where you should be speaking from, the kind of people we should be. That's in the Bible. But I say it because when you take those words and then you think about what it is that you're about to say or what it is that you're about to do, and it don't even match the basics of being kind or being loving, then maybe we should just not leave the house. Don't leave the house. Don't try and go out and do something until you know for sure that you're going to step outside with love and kindness. And some days it's you just looking at people like they stupid. Because I got a you stupid look for sure. I ain't saying nothing, but that eyebrow and that mean mug is real. And and then at some point I just go, you take it up with the Lord. I just walk away.
Right.
No time and no patience for that.
And I don't have nothing nice to say.
Oh, other thing with this. Girl, when I tell you I've been in my word and it just keep coming to me, you can't be a hearer of the word and not be a doer. You can't just be a hearer of anything really and not a doer. And I think when you talk about, oh, the Lord knows my heart, at that point you're a hearer and you're never a doer. You're a hearer of, oh, I shouldn't have responded that way. You know, I could have done something different, but you keep doing everything but what you're supposed to do. And the Bible does say that when you look in the mirror and it's like when you look in the mirror and you see who you're supposed to be, but then when you walk away, you forget who you was. That's a hearer. Because when I look in the mirror, when I'm reading my Bible, I'm seeing who I'm supposed to be. But then the moment I walk away, it's like I done forgot what the Lord said. And then really you ain't forgot. It's up there. You just decided, yeah, that ain't what's going on today though. That ain't what I'm about to do today. They came for me. I'm coming for them. Collision ahead. Whatever happens, happens. And you can't, according to the word, that's not what we should be doing. And I think what stood out for me was when it says that when a man looks in the mirror and he removes himself from the mirror, he forget who he was. It's like, what if I looked in the mirror right now? I don't feel like when I walked away that that's past tense. I'm still that same person. But it's almost like saying you already forgot exactly who you was 10 seconds ago. You were one person 10 seconds ago, and you are no longer that person the moment you step outside of your house. That's crazy to already going past tense, and we still within the same 24 hours.
Right.
So I'm always looking at it like, if I'm looking in the mirror or if I'm reading my Bible and I know who I am currently right here in the word, and then the moment I walk away, it's like I'm being tempted by the things of this world, and I can't remember nothing of the Bible. I can't carry it with me. It's not in my heart. Yeah, you're ghetto.
You're
done.
dumb.
That's
I
right.
mean, you're dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, you're done. That was
I know
great.
being kind, and I just called y'all raggedy.
And I'm talking about you're dumb. I didn't mean to say that. I'm crying.
Again, we're work in progress, okay? We're all out
But
here
that was
figuring it out together, guys.
right, but that was really good though. Look at you, girl.
Let me cook, okay? Just a little bit. I'm getting better.
That was really good.
But I think that's what happens when you start aligning the word with your walk and with your actions in everyday life. I think
Yeah.
before I couldn't really see anything because I was reading stuff that aligned with wherever somebody else was in their journey. But once I start saying these are the things I feel like are trouble in my heart, these are the things that I feel like are keeping me in a particular situation that I want to come out of. This is what's hindering me from growing a relationship with God, then those are the verses in the Bible that hit me the hardest. I couldn't remember half of the stuff I was reading before. Why? Because
Right.
I wasn't ready to hear it, or that's just not what I'm going through. I don't know. But it was like I was reading, but I wasn't none of it was applying to me. Again, once I got from in front of that mirror, once I closed that Bible, none of it applied. But now, as y'all can hear, I'm able to recite. You better not do that. Now I just need to remember what book it was in. But I know for, but I
Look,
will say
just
I've been in
she like just
Galatians,
Google what I
and
said. Google what I said. It's gonna come up.
literally it's gonna pop up, and you gonna say that girl said. That girl said that. I'm gonna say, I know I did. I know I
Right.
did. You welcome.
So is there anything that you're done with?
Think I'm gonna be done with saying the Lord knows my heart, but I'm. You know what? This is what I'm done with. I'm done with saying that I'm walking with the Lord, but then my actions don't align with that. I don't care. I'm starting not to really worry about how someone views me because they think that she's doing everything for the Lord. Why wouldn't I? Baby, listen,
You
when he
should
come back,
try it.
I'm not standing down here with y'all. This is ghetto. It's ghetto
Right.
now. You know how much more ghetto it's gonna be when all the heathens is down here, it's solo dolo, and the devil is here wrecking heck. No.
Baby,
No, no,
cause
no, no, no.
the devil already know where he going. He trying to get
Baby,
company.
that part. And I don't the birds of a feather flock together, and I ain't got no feathers. Gots to go.
I'm not a bird.
Not a bird.
Not a bird. I'm definitely a sheep.
My leg.
I'm a sheep. Thank you. I think I am done with you are goofy. I guess I'm done with the same thing of just ensuring that all the things that I'm constantly like pouring into myself every day when I read the Bible. And it's not to say just read it to memorize it or read it to apply it to your everyday life so that when things do arise in your life, you're not easily swayed and then you have to use that justification of, oh, God knows my heart. No, because the things that you are in line with will flow from your heart. Yeah, so if I'm constantly saying I'm reading my Bible every day, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I need to make sure that I'm doing it in a way that I'm actually receiving what it's saying so that I can apply it to my life and not just reading it just to say, oh, I know a few verses or, whatever the case may be. So like Brittany said, when I find myself in a bind or in a situation where might might go off the edge, Jesus. I have those words from God to remind me, don't do that. Don't be easily angered and watch your tongue and stuff like that. So constantly reminding myself of God's word because the things that are of your heart are the things that's going to flow from your mouth. That's what your actions are going to resemble and all of the things. So stop justifying your bad behavior by God knows my heart and change your posture of your heart so that your behavior reflects that. It's not the other way around. You gotta start from within, and whatever is within is what's gonna come out. So that's not look, come on now. We can do better.
Listen.
I believe in
Yes.
y'all.
I believe in us too. One day at a time, guys. One action at a time.
Yes.
Okay? That's it. That's all.
And like
Oh,
Brittany
this is a
said,
good one.
even when she was reading the Bible and now she's able to apply it and she's reading certain things that's applicable to her walk with Christ. You ain't gotta go in there and I said this on another episode a while ago. That reading the Bible in a year, baby, get that out your head. If you look, it's already March. And you not finna do that. Unless you just ain't got
No.
nothing else. I mean, let me not say you're not finna do that. But you're not going to do it in a way that you're actually applying it. You do not need to read the Bible in a year if you're getting absolutely nothing out of it. Okay, you read it. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Now what? So it's like,
That-
take your journey as it comes. You ain't got to rush it. It's just slow down. You ain't got to read the Bible in a year if you're still going to be living a life that is not reflecting of what all that you just read. Slow down.
Yeah.
And take whatever,
Because at
digest
this
it.
point,
Yeah, I used to be
at
one.
this
Oh, I'm
point,
gonna
you
read the
don't know
Bible in a year. I still ain't read the whole Bible, y'all. Cause sometimes I ain't gonna lie. I started doing a new Bible study, and I have went back to Genesis. I done read Genesis. I don't know. God, like, girl, okay, how many times you gonna read how I created the earth? As many times as I need to.
right.
And it's not to say like, I don't know. Your walk, it's not like a linear thing. I don't feel like it's not like a Look, sometimes you might need to
No.
go back to the Old Testament. I was just in the New Testament. I'm back in the Old Testament. I ain't even finished it. Look, I'm where I need to be right now. So yeah.
But the more you read, even when you reread something you've already read, you see it. It's like it becomes clearer each time. Cause I'll
Mhm.
go back and say that one word, like I said, I read the verse that I was telling you guys about, and the fact that was stood out. It didn't stand out before, but it
Mhm.
stood out here recently because then it was something that was troubling me at the time. And I was like, that's crazy. I went and told my mama about it. I was like, Mom, listen to this verse. Don't ever feel bad to repeat something because that could be the very thing that keeps you from entering the kingdom of heaven. And a lot of things that I'm reading currently have stopped me from doing certain things. And it's crazy because I feel like we're in season 6. And I don't know how many seasons I've been out here saying I said I love matching energy, y'all. That was crazy work. Now look at me. That man said that in the Bible, let me not say that man said in the Bible, it literally says outburst of anger. If you have outburst of anger, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. When I'm matching energy, that's an outburst of anger. I'm just out here acting out
Right.
loudly,
Cause you not finna be up in heaven causing a ruckus.
right? Moving clouds around.
He said, she's allowed. Get out of here.
She's done. Yeah. So no, you can't do one thing and want another at the end of the day. And the Lord does know, he does know your heart. And that does not mean you're always coming from a good place. Sometimes he knows your heart because it has been hardened. And the actions of which you have done is not in alignment of him. He just at this point, all you saying is the Lord knew I was gonna do that. The Lord knew I was for that god dang on food today. And that indeed you
You
did, ma'am.
did.
And you're done.
Indeed. This was
But
a
this
good
is a great
topic.
episode. I
Yeah.
know we've been out here preaching, and hopefully y'all have enjoyed the sermons. Okay, they're a little choppy, but they in there.
Right. 'Cause this straight off the dome, okay? We have our topic, but we have the dialogue and the actual conversation together. So, if there's
Yeah,
anything y'all wanna add to it, because I feel like it's always something extra we could have probably said or touched on, but hey, like 200 of y'all at this point, 200 some of y'all need to comment. Thank you.
comment, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking. What is it something that the Lord knows your heart on that you trying to change that He has called you to change? Drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Exactly. Because it can help somebody else. And follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all the other things. I need to start putting that in the description. Like our
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
y'all.
you should
I know.
get
I'm
on
gonna I'm
that.
gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. But yes, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We're gonna see y'all at the same time next week. Peace.
Peace. Dunzo.
Yay. Huh? That was
I said, good
cool.
job.
Yeah, we